Hello there, happy holidays. Hope you've had a great festive season however you celebrate. Christmas in Australia is very hot, nothing like the cozy, wintry vibe in the Northern Hemisphere, so the most festive I usually feel is through my makeup choices. I thought I'd recap a makeup look I wore for a Christmas lunch and go through some extra steps as a bit of a get ready with me, but still in my usual flay-lay style. I filmed one of these in the very early days of my channel and had lots of recent requests to revisit this style, so I'll be running you through a few more steps than usual. Hair, skincare, makeup, and style for a festive look. When I picture festive beauty, I instantly think of glowy skin, golden bright eyes, and luscious red lips. One of my favourite looks all year round really, but there's just something festive about it too. A lot of people would wear eyeliner with this sort of style, but I wanted to keep mine really light and fresh for daytime. I've linked a photo of Kelsey from the Instagram Rosalie Rouge down below, which perfectly captures the look I went for, right down to the pearl hoop earrings. I rarely talk about hair on my channel because I don't do much to it. It's straight, always cut into either a long or short bob, and that's about it, very low maintenance. Lately I'm washing my hair with Pliers, Everyday Shampoo and Supernatural Conditioner. This is an LA based brand I discovered over there this year, and their approach is sort of like no makeup for your hair. It's meant to be easy and slightly undone, which is a message I can definitely get behind. For a low maintenance hair person like me, the one tool that has made a huge difference is the Dyson Supersonic hairdryer. I was pretty skeptical about just how different a hairdryer could be to justify the price, but I've used this non-stop for over 2 years and I'm still hooked. My drying time has halved, the quiet volume means I don't terrify my cats when I turn it on, and styling is easier than ever before. For me, anything Dyson touches turns to gold, so I'd love to hear if you're a convert to this hairdryer too. A new discovery for me this year was Kristen S, a US brand I'm sure many of you are already fans of. I've been using her blow dry mist and I think it does help my hair dry quicker and smoother, and I also love her medium round brush to control my hair and blow dry quite straight. I section off different bits of hair with these handy dry bar clips, and with all of these tools I'm getting the closest I've ever been to the look of a proper salon blow dry. Moving on to skincare, not too many steps in the morning. Straight out of the shower I like to spritz my face with face mist. My favourite Jurlique Rosewater Balancing Mist is usually what I reach for, love the heavenly realistic rose scent. I find Moisturiser applies and absorbs better afterwards, and the one I use is, say it with me now, Glossier Priming Moisturiser. I've used this for 4 years straight, a simple, lightweight moisturising fluid that also preps skin nicely for makeup. Then I always finish with sunscreen every single day, incredibly important whatever the weather. Ultraviolet Supreme Screen SPF 50 from Australia was one of my favourite discoveries of 2019, sharing more of my beauty favourites in videos very soon. I love the texture of this, it's smooth and creamy but still light, and makeup sits beautifully on top. I really make sure I massage the moisturiser and sunscreen in so my skin is plump and hydrated pre-makeup. For a natural glowy base, I'm using two more favourites from the year, Chanel's Les Beiges Water Fresh Tint and By Terry's Brightening CC Serum. The Chanel tint is absolutely water light and super sheer with tiny pigment micro droplets that just even out your complexion slightly, but I like mixing in a small amount of By Terry's CC Serum too. Lately I'm wearing shade 4 Sunny Flash, a bronze tone that slightly warms up my skin in a natural way. This product is honestly like an Instagram filter in a bottle. Not only does it give your skin a healthy, subtle glow, but it sort of has a blurring effect that makes my skin look better than ever. I always like to see my skin through makeup and don't want a heavy base, so this is exactly how much of each I apply. Only a very light layer. Mixed together between my fingertips, then spread onto my face. My two usual concealer steps next, Chanel Eclat Lumiere to brighten under my eyes. I love this lightweight fluid pen, and Clé de Peau's cult favourite concealer to cover spots or redness in a seamless way. I like doing the skincare, base and concealer steps pretty quickly so my skin is still nice and dewy. That just helps everything sort of melt together and I can gently pack concealer in and it just disappears into the skin. Then a quick slick of Glossier Boy Brow in brown, which is so well loved the names come off. The pomade texture means this adds some tint and a tiny bit of creamy volume to brows without looking too heavy or feeling crunchy. The little spoolie brushes up my brows in a feathery but neat way. Moving on to the blush, bronze and glow stage. I start with bronzer so I can feel like I've finished my base steps before adding colour to my face through the cheeks, eyes and lips. One of my top discoveries this year, and something I've been loving off camera for the last few months, is the Undone Beauty Water Bronzer Stick. Nowhere near as dark on the skin as it is in the tube, don't worry. This stick has been so user friendly for me because it's water light and incredibly subtle and sheer. It does come in different shades, but baked is perfect for me because it's almost impossible to apply too much. Easy to swipe along your hairline, temples and on the bridge of the nose to look subtly sun-kissed. I often get messages about Undone Beauty and finally got to pick up some of their products in the US this year, so you'll see them in a video in future. Time for cream blush blush, and 2 Nude Sticks shades, one out. A Nude Sticks brand review video is coming up soon too. This month I've been loving their Nude But Not kit created by Estee Lalonde, and her exclusive blush shade, Salty Siren, is a dream summery peach. All I've been wearing on my cheeks and eyes since it arrived. To make the colour slightly more sun-kissed though, I added a tiny bit of my favourite shade, Sun-Kissed, along the top of my cheekbones. It's not a crazy ombre blush look once you blend it in, but it just creates a bit of shape and the colours work so nicely together. At this time of year, I want my highlight to be glowy and bright, but still pretty minimal, so RMS Luminizers are my number one. Champagne Rosé is a dreamy, slightly rosy shade that creates such a glossy look on the skin, but still looks natural and luminous. You look like you're glowing or your skin is glowing, not like you put half a pot of highlight on. You only need a little bit of this. Onto the eyes. I really wanted a gilded, gold look with slight sparkle. Nothing too over the top or dramatic, but just enough to brighten up the eyes. I usually don't mind a bit of creasing, but I dug out my old NARS Pro Prime eyeshadow base. You can see this one's pretty battered. It's normally a white tube, but the packaging seems to get dirty quite easily. I'd forgotten how effective this is. It's often a step I skip for time, but I'll be bringing it back into my routine because my eyeshadow lasted so well with minimal creasing. As a glowy golden base, I used my fingers to smudge on a light layer of the Pat McGrath Idol Shadow in Celestial. This powder is super smooth and buttery, so it's very easy to apply with your fingers, and the gold shimmer just opens up the eyes. For a bit more of a statement, I decided to dip into the stunning RÓEN Beauty 75 Degrees palette. This is celebrity makeup artist Nikki DeRoost's brand. You'll see a lot more RÓEN in a brand overview in the new year, but this is my favourite palette. For this look, I used the shade Obviously in the top left corner. Their Lidolume formula is really unique and creamy. It applies so well with your fingers. It doesn't contain any glitter, it's just pearl and reflex that really catch the light and leave flecks of gold on the eyes that look dramatic but still pretty effortless. I concentrated this shadow below my crease, quite close to the lash line, but I did buff the edges slightly with the RÓEN Everything Eye Brush. I love applying their shadows with my fingers, but this is a great shape for softening shadow or running it under your lower lash line with the thinner end. Topped off with Hourglass Caution Extreme Lash Mascara. Can't get enough of this at the moment. There's something so fluttery and lengthening about it, whilst also adding volume, which I love. It really seems to curl my lashes too without having used an eyelash curler. So impressed. The full size is definitely on my wish list. Now there's only one lip colour I want to wear at Christmas time, and a lot of the time really. It has to be red, but the texture is always a toss-up. I was torn between something a bit sheer, lightweight and buildable, like Chanel's Rouge Coco Flash in the deep red shade Attitude, a classic, bold, slightly warmer red with a satin finish like the famous Dior 999, or a high-impact, sleek and shiny, pigmented gloss like this Hourglass Unreal shade Icon. But in the end, I settled on a matte that would really stay in place through lunch. Lisa Eldridge's True Velvet lipstick in Velvet Jazz, a beautiful, rich, deep red. This is a super pigmented, velvety matte, but it still feels creamy on the lips, not drying for me. I was so impressed by how this wore during the day and only had to reapply a tiny bit more after about 6 hours for a group photo. I'm sure quite a few of you wore a red lip to a holiday party too, so let me know which shade and texture you chose. A quick spritz of my favourite perfume, Jo Malone Red Roses, and a festive mani to match, of course. This rich red is Essie Gel Couture in Bubbles Only, the shade I painted on in my recent nail routine video. This is actually the same mani from that video 8 days later. Crazy. Still looking nice and fresh, so make sure you check out that tutorial to see some of my favourite tools and tips to make my nails last longer. With Christmas in Australia, you're guaranteed to get hot weather, but a fairly classic festive look like this will go with whatever you choose to wear on the day to keep cool. To carry presents and goodies, I love a big basket bag, and when I'm using a larger bag like this, I like to throw any smaller items inside a little pouch. Never been a big fan of makeup touch-ups, can't really be bothered, and I'm happy for my makeup to look real, not perfect as the day goes on, so I only bring my lipstick if that needs a bit of a fix, my Clé de Peau concealer, trusty Blistex lip balm, and my current obsession, By Terry's Balm de Rose gloss for hydration and shine, and I could even make a bit of a lipstick gloss hybrid at the end of the day. There you go, a complete look at my Christmas beauty routine covering hair, skincare, makeup, and some accessories. Let me know what you thought of the style of this video and if you'd be interested to see looks for some other occasions. What did you wear to feel festive this year? Did you have a similar colour palette or do something different? Please share. Thanks for watching. See you next time.